Hey guys, Hecon's here with another World of Warcraft gold making guide. Today we're going to revisit Inscription and check on how we're doing on the auction house. I haven't touched the mail from my auction house sales in 15 days, and I will be collecting them all now to show you guys how lucrative Inscription can be. A lot of the glyphs that require extra effort to acquire, such as the Glyph of the Voidlord or the Glyph of the Observer, have sold for as much as 20k gold. We've also sold 2 Dark Moon decks for close to 100k gold each. We have had our eye on the auction house for the last 2 weeks to pick up low price cards to finish our incomplete sets from our first video. Normally each card goes for anywhere from 2.5k all the way up to 12k, but we found someone that was selling them for only 1k last week, and we were able to complete 3 decks because of it. As far as herbs, we have been spending some of the proceeds from our sales that you saw in the first video to buy Felwart when they're priced low. We also found a seller in trade chat that was moving Dreamleaf at about 8 gold per. This is about a third of the auction house price right now, so we made sure to build rapport with them, and they have been supplying us with cheap herbs. We have milled and crafted these into glyphs to replace the ones we sold. At the end of our last video, we were at about 70k gold, and today we're down to about 20k from the aforementioned purchases. As I mentioned earlier, glyph recipes which require additional effort to acquire, such as those found on NPCs in the underbelly, NPCs in old zones, and even dungeon drops, can be a great way to make a lot of gold. These can sell anywhere from 5k all the way up to 20k gold each. I found that a lot of scribes do not bother or do not know where they can be found. If you're serious about trying to make gold with Inscription, I would recommend that you spend the time to farm these recipes. There are also a lot of recipes that are random world drops, so you'll get a few drop while questing on your toon. If you're raiding on your scribe right now, another good source of gold are Nighthold Vantis runes. A lot of serious raiders in progression or those parsing will want these for additional DPS. As far as I know, the rank 1 recipe should be a guaranteed drop off the corresponding boss, so you should be able to craft each one after your first week running. On US servers currently, they're selling for an average price of 4k all the way up to 8200 for the Gul'dan Vantis rune. These are going to be a great source of gold right now, especially if you can 10 out of 10 on a scribe. So I consider myself a fledgling or noob when it comes to gold making with Inscription, but we were able to bring in about 377k gold, or about 25k gold per day just from Inscription. This is more than double the 10k that we were pulling in the first video. This is actually a nice chunk of gold since I've been blowing a lot of mine the past week buying TCG pets for my collection. Lastly, we might also consider crafting and listing the 2 Inscription relics, the Aquamark and the Strasnamark. Both require a significant chunk of resources, lots of ink, and 8 bloods per craft. However, both are selling for an average price of about 10k gold across all US servers according to the Undermine Journal. These can be a great source of gold if you have a steady supply of bloods coming in on your scribe. Currently I'm doing the following: farming leather and hardened felglass from Falcosaurs on my hunter, who is a skinner engineer, sending the leather to my rogue, who is a leather worker, to craft items to disenchant, then lastly mailing them to my priest, who has Inscription and enchanting. The items disenchant into Leylat shards and chaos crystals I can turn into enchants. On top of that, the disenchanting has a chance to draw bloods in the process, and I can use these to make relics or even a few enchants which require bloods, if I so choose. Just make sure you're getting the best use out of your bloods. Generally, crafts such as relics are a good way since they're usually in high demand. Anyways, I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, and having fun with both the Call of the Scarab micro event and the Lunar Festival. In the coming weeks, I'll be making guides for the other crafting professions such as blacksmithing, jewel crafting, and leatherworking. Hopefully they will be as profitable as Inscription and enchanting. Take it easy, and see you guys in the next video. Late.